What is up, Sandbox Junkies? My name is Zinth, and we are going to do some Kerbal Space Program and go to space this morning while I have some morning coffee. This is my morning coffee stream, so let's get straight into it. We're going to be new because this is a fresh install, because new computer and all. We're going to be going career. We're going to make sure a few things are on. We're going customize. In advanced, we want to require signal for control, so we must create a satellite network to control ourselves in space. And I think that's about it. The only other thing we might want to adjust is some of the science and stuff we wrote, but I think this will be good. I just wanted to make sure we needed an actual comm network. Yeah. There we go. We'll call this, let's call this the, United Carbon Effort, uh, for deeper understanding. Was it? Nah, that's a really silly acronym. I always name my saves in, KSP for acronyms, so, um, Global United, Space Exploration? No. Let's go. Global International Space, uh, yeah, we'll just go with KISS. Global International Space, or KISP. Global International Space Program, because why not? Change our flag to something more to indicate that we are in the International Space Program. Man, my voice doesn't seem to be wanting to work this morning. Wow. Go ahead and hit start here. And welcome to the Space Center. Thanks, I've got it. So, this is mission control, and that's pretty much all there is on the planet. There's a few, like, that right there is an obelisk, and there's a few of those hidden around on the planet. There's a few other things. Right over there is another one-way. But to get started here, I know we don't have to accept some of these right away, but I mean, might as well. We have nothing else to accept, and we could accept 2 at a time right this moment. As we upgrade these buildings, we will be able to, if I can hit the right button, we'll be able to get more contracts. Like if we spend 75,000 to upgrade our mission control, we'll get 7 active contracts. Most of our facilities will be needing to be upgraded. This will probably be one of the first things we upgrade, because we need be able to put more tonnage on our launch pad. So we're going to jump right into here. And yep, I have over 200 hours in this game. I know the basics. I have not actually made it to anywhere beyond Minmus. I made it to the Mun, and I've made it to Minmus. Made it to Duna once. But that was in a creative mode. I haven't made it there in career mode. So we start with our capsule, and this first one here going to be extremely basic. We're actually not even going to launch this first one. We're just going to be gathering some science. There it is. There's my goo. It's been a while since I played. So let's get our goo on there, and that's pretty much it. Let's launch this. This is just to get some basic science from the actual launch pad. Those different regions you could get science from. Each of the building sections you could get science from, and then there's various biomes on the planet, and then space, and then next to the Mun, then biomes on the Mun. the grind in this game is getting science, and you just got to make sure you're doing enough other side missions to actually get have the money to do this. So we're just going to keep this experiment. We'll observe this one. Hopefully, we'll catch that last little bit that we're not getting. We'll do a crew report. Keep. Then we'll go into EVA, and then we'll do another EVA report. Keep. Board back up into our shuttle and recover vessel. No money lost because we recovered everything as we put it out, and we got 9 science. And Jebediah there got a little bit of experience. This is our research tree. It is pretty extensive. Um, and as we get science, we can unlock both of these right now. I'm not going to yet. I like to gather up as much science because you don't want to just unlock straight down the tree. I generally go down this way to get more science stuff unlocked. And then I start with the actual planes to do some of the missions, some just observe the planet missions, and then we will start going to rockets. I don't know if that's the way we will do it this time, but that's generally how I do it. So now all we need to do to continue getting science is slap a parachute on here and slap a thruster. And this is where checking your staging comes in. Right now, because these are both in the same staging group, if I was to hit the space which activates your next stage, both my parachute and engine would go off at the same time. So we want to make sure our engine is down here. Let's go ahead and go and launch this. Now I am playing completely mod free. There are some mods for this game. One mod that I usually love to have because I always forget to do the science at the specific like altitudes and stuff is that a pop-up notification saying do your science. I forget the name of the mod. It's been too long since I've actually used mods because a lot of updates have happened to this game since I truly last played. So um we are going to go ahead and set our SAS, which is our stabilization control, and launch. Sort of angle away. We could observe one of our goos now and get some more science. We could do a crew report from here, but we're going to be doing enough launches that we'll do that later. I want to save our crew report for when we get back down to the ground. And this is where we go uppity up up, and then we'll come down diddy down down. And we can speed this up. Just because, you know, this part isn't as exciting. And about 5,000, I'll maybe start a parachute. We could do it now. We're going slow enough. But I'd rather fall as fast as we can for a moment and then go ahead and deploy our parachute. It won't open till 1,000 anyways. So as long as we pop it before 1,000. And now we drift down slowly. The ground. So, one of the reasons why I've been playing a lot of different games on stream, not just the usual Porsche in the morning and Scrap Mechanic at night, is I'm trying to see what game might attract more viewers. So, and I'm only playing games that right now that I actually enjoyed to play and would play a lot for viewers. So, if you're wondering if you've tuned into other streams and are wondering why I'm playing so many different games as of late. That is the reason why. It's a crew report as my nose wants to sneeze, but I'm not sneezing yet, so hate that. When you know you need to sneeze, or you think you're going to sneeze, and that the pressure in the nose that builds up, and it's like not remove. Oh man, sorry, EVA report, and then we'll board back onto our vessel and recover. Now this one cost us some money. It cost us fuel. None of the parts broke, so we got the money back from all the parts, but the fuel we did not get back. But as you can see, we got quite a bit of science there. So parts recovering, so funds that we covered. Solid fuel is a 0, so we lost some money, but that's okay. We're actually gaining money at the moment because we did the first launch mission and the first obtained science mission. Now we could do some testing. Some testing is annoying because like for this one you got to be in flight over and you got to be between a certain amount of altitude within a certain amount of speed, and that's hard to obtain. I generally, if I'm going to do a testing mission, I'd either test at splashdown or landed. And I'm not seeing a test landed. So I don't think we're going to be getting any missions here. These refresh every so often, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead, and we could always decline a contract but generally just let them refresh. We'll be getting some more stuff as we go. We are going to go with some basic rocketry just because it gives us the hammer engine, which is a slightly better engine. Our first, this is a solid fuel engine, which means it burns, and once it's burned, it's just dead weight. This is a fuel tank, which we can fill up to power a non-solid engine, which we could turn on and off. We can't turn off a solid fuel once it's burning, so. And then we also want the engineering because we want to be able to decouple our engines from our command pod. And we also want the science from the thermometer. And then we are going down here, we have the pressure mat, which is another science thing, some heat shields, and the service bay, which I like to use to store all of my science stuff in. So we'll get this one, and that will out because this one costs 45, but we'll be getting this one. This one has the battery and the experiment unit and the science junior, so that's the stuff in that one. Oh, morning allergies. It was hot last night, so I had to sleep with my window open, and that always makes my allergies go a lot more nuts. Okay, so we've been over to the sort of grasslands to the side of the of the space center here. But we need to actually go ahead. We're going to this open, then I could just tuck all my science equipment in here. And this makes our cone shape a little bit, we'll have more weight on this side, so we'll actually not plummet, hopefully, towards the nose like we were doing last time. I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist, I just know how to play Kerbal Space Program. So we want first science. We're going to want, probably, see, we want on the pad, in the air, and then landed. So 3 of these. So we'll do that. We're going to want 3 of these because we haven't done on the pad before yet either with these. And then we'll do 3 of, not 3 of those. Let's do 2 of these. There we go. I had to remember exactly which buttons we rotated which. So that's going to be our science bay. It does stick out here. There's not much I can do about it. It doesn't affect anything, so. Then we want our decoupler. And then, I think we're going to stick with the same, Flea solid booster engine, the starter one, just for the moment. Let's check our staging. So, when we start our booster, we'll go, then we'll decouple, and then we'll launch our parachute. So let's go ahead and launch this. We'll go and launch this towards the sea. And then we go ahead and do our log temperature for this one, and log temperature for this one. And then we can turn on our SAS and head towards the sea. I don't head too steep of an angle. You see, if I head too steep of an angle, we start to get more wind resistance. And right now we're going so fast, we're getting so much wind resistance. I'm going to wait to decouple our engine until we're a little bit more over the sea to make sure my engine does not fall back down and hit anything on the spaceport. You can destroy buildings, and then you have to repair them, and that's really expensive. So okay, I'm going to sort of start walking this way and then decouple like that to make sure we have good separation. It's not something you have to do, it's just something I like to do. Hopefully, I probably should have ejected it this way, huh? Oh well, life goes on. And don't worry, it's that whole dropping something from a high effect, it's actually going to hit probably somewhere around right here. I know it looks over there, but with that visual effect, we could actually come into our map and see where. No, we can't see where it's going to hit. Well, we can see where we're going to hit. And it looks like we're hitting here, but we're actually going to be hitting somewhere out in this area. So we're now falling faster than our thruster. Oh, I forgot. I need to open log temperature, log, log, close. Okay. That's why the one mod I always really enjoyed was the science alert pop-up that you could just run all your experiments at once with it. Go ahead and pop our chute, which will start to slow us down from the basic wind resistance of it being partially open. It'll fully deploy here in 4, 3, 2, 1, deploy. And I can adjust the altitude of the chute when it deploys, but 1000 on Kerbin is generally pretty good. And then we can speed this up as we come down here. It's not recommended to have it speed when you actually touch the ground. Bugs have been known to happen. I don't know if they ever fix that, so I always stop right speeding up right before. Now we can take a crew report. We can open this and not be able to see any of our instruments. That one we've already used. That one we've already used. So this one, log pressure data. Log temperature data. The only reason why I used 2 goo is for symmetry and rate balance issues. I might as well use both of them. Then we can EVA report, reboard, and recover. And we got 52 science for that. So we are good on science. The question is, how fast do we want to get to space? Right now we have 136,000. We get, let me leave the facility and come here. If we do, or not, first, escape the atmosphere mission, we'd get, 30, pretty much, 32,000 for leaving the atmosphere. We could probably do it with what we have now, but I don't think we could get into orbit easily with what we have right now. Let's see, test in orbit. The testing in orbit, you just have to meet the orbit altitudes, and that's a pretty high orbit. Space starts, I believe, at 70,000. So to go 360,000 is pretty high orbit. Let's see. See, we lose 1 WEP if we decline. And we're going to need to upgrade this sooner than later. But this would give us the ability to actually do a lot more science. I don't know. I don't know which is best to unlock at this stage. I think we'll just save and let's go for space. Let's go to break the atmosphere. So we're going to just be going straight up and then down. And that's not the most effective way to break atmosphere, but we don't have sustainability in our fuel systems yet, so actually we'll probably want the fleet on here still, and we'll add a second stage to this. And I'm not sure if this is going to be enough. I haven't tested. We might want one more, but right now we have the hammer first stage, fleet second stage, and that's it. So let's go ahead and try this. I'm not playing hardcore where I can't recover vessels or rewind time if something goes wrong. I'm not playing hardcore KSP. I'd still try everything in my power to not let anything happen, but you know, things go wrong occasionally. And Jebediah coming down here is going to be our very first carbon to leave the planet and venture into space. Yeah, we're not getting to space with this launch. I don't think we have enough bus to weight ratio going on to, but we'll see. But man, we're going to get going fast enough to create the flame effect. We could check. Oh, we will make it to space. Oh, we're going to make it really high into space. Oh, we might have to revert here already. I forgot to put on a heat shield for re-entry. We're going to want maybe do a crew report for high atmosphere. We need to open this and start getting some science for high atmosphere. Keep. Log pressure, keep. Log temperature, keep. And we are in space. So I can log pressure of space, log the temperature of space, observe the goo in space. Fortunately, I could only ever take one crew report, so. And I don't have the ability to EVA while not landed on Kerbin at the moment, so. But we'll see, I can't remember the heat threshold of this particular capsule part here. Because we went straight up, we're going to be going straight down, which is going to mean we're going to be maximum falling. Instead of the gradual slowdown. So we're going to be hitting it like a brick. Hitting the atmosphere. We'll see. But space! As my voice breaks anytime I try to do that. We can speed up time here. As we go uppity up up and come down diddy down down. Because that's a thing, and apparently that's a visual glitch. Let's see. Right now we're just picking up speed because we have no air resistance, or at least what little air resistance there is at this altitude. There we go. There's the air resistance. That should start to slow us down here at some point, maybe. Hopefully, because we have. We'll get a warning if it's going to start. Oh no, we flipped. By now, if we opened our parachute, we'd die because it would burn up. Yep. This is going to be bad. Do we want to see them die before I revert? Yeah. Bye, Jeb. Okay, reverting. Revert to vehicle assembly. I can't believe I forgot the heat shield. And we actually, because of the way we are set up here, let me put that back on. Need that. I'm going to get rid of this because we want to keep the bell shape, and it should keep us bottom facing down. We don't want to flip over like we did, because that will provide less wind resistance as we enter through the atmosphere. So, not that one, this one. So we want the heat shield. And we'll probably angle a little this time too. We still want to bring all of our science though. We'll probably go science instrument here. We'll probably go ahead and do 4 of these. Actually, so let me pick that up and put that there. Then we'll do this one here. Only 2 of those and 2 of these. It looks weird, but this is usually how you do it. I like to hide them when I can, but I don't think I can on this one. So now let's launch. This should be fine. We should be perfectly safe to go up as high as we did. We won't actually go as high as we did because I'm going to turn us slightly and not go straight up, so that we have some wind resistance to more time before we hit the ground. So we're going to go up, and we're just going to ever so slightly lean to the side, probably about to there, if I could actually get this under control. Thank you. I did my wall a little way too early, by the way. I'm not the most efficient player, but I do enjoy the game. Okay, and you can see that just doing that sort of messed up our things. I'm just seeing our location on the nav bar and trying to keep us on that 90-degree line. Okay. How high are we going up this time? Oh, we're not even making it to space this time. That was horrible. Revert to flight. I'm perfectly okay with reverting. If you guys want me to do a non-revert playthrough of KSP Career, I will. It won't be pretty. Jebediah will he'll probably last a little bit. I wouldn't be as experimental as I'm being right now. So I'd be playing a little bit more cautiously. So let's go ahead and launch, and then about the 1,000 mark, we do our turn. That should make us a little bit more stable. And we're not turning nearly as much this time. Just to right there. Now I gotta fight it. The green, we don't want to burn off as much momentum as we burnt off last time, so... There we go. That should get us to space. Oh no, the wind resistance is now bringing us down. Okay, so I guess we're going to have to go straight up and down. I was trying to avoid that. Or we add a different fuel system on here. Let's revert flight to launch. Let's just go straight up. Simplest rocket procedure ever. Just going straight up, and then we'll come straight down. I do want to turn slightly before I eject this. Oh, we're already turning. The air resistance of putting these things on the outside has really affected us. How we doing? 50, 60, 70. Okay. We'll make space this time for sure. The air resistance before while we're still traveling up will bring this down, but it's not going to bring it down enough to not have us be in space. And we can do a quick observation here. A crew report of being in the upper atmosphere. A temperature report here. And a pressure report here. For science. They blinded me with science. And we are almost into space. And we're only going to be in space for a moment. And as you can see, even going straight up, because of the rotation of the planet, we're not going to be actually landing there. And the wind resistance actually pushed us a little too, so... We are now in space! Space! Again. Keep that. Let's log our pressure data. Let's log our temperature. And that's all we can do up here. But we got the money for meeting the milestone, leave the atmosphere and enter space. Sorry, Portal's in my head. I should play Portal on the channel at some point. I don't have Portal 2. I've never played Portal 2. I've really wanted to, but I've never had the opportunity. But Portal 1 is fun. So, nice little puzzle game. And as we sit here enjoying the space music, because music changes when you enter space, sip on the morning coffee. And we are about to re-enter atmosphere in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-entered atmosphere. And now we could just... we're going to speed this up just a little because I'm confident this will maintain a safe trajectory downwards. As much as safe trajectory and straight down was ever a safe trajectory. But we didn't go that high into the atmosphere, we won't pick up that much speed. We're going to be fine. We're going to get a little bit of a burn. We didn't even need a heat shield because we didn't go up that high. Let's slow it down so we can open our parachute here in a second. And let's go ahead and deploy that chute. Oh, we were in the yellow. I should have waited a few more seconds. That's okay. The yellow just means warning, caution. There's a chance it could snap, but it probably won't. There we go. Now let's speed it up as we slowly drift towards the ground and see the texture line of tiling that they did here. I gotta say, the being on Corbin is not the prettiest thing. Being in space is super pretty. They did a really good job in space. Corbin, not so much. Log temperature. Let's go ahead EVA. Make sure we got all the science we can get from here. Can board and we cover. And that should give us a little bit of play money. And we got 132 science. So we now have 189,000. We're going to go ahead and upgrade our launch pad here. We'll take 50,000. And then let's see if we got any new missions. An acceptable trajectory, which means I need to test it at those altitudes. No, thank you. In flight, focus. Any easy missions? Oh, they are not giving me easy missions this time around. Okay. So let's leave the facility and let's go and do some research. Oh, we do want this one. At this point, we're going to stop going forward on this. If we do this one, we could actually, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if we want to go, more deeper into space faster or do more get money faster. To get money faster, we need the passenger things. I can't quite remember which of these unlocks it. I'm looking for it. I mean, this is a passenger hatch here. You can put 4 people into it, but it's a size up than what we've been using on our rockets, and we don't have any parts to match it. So I don't want to unlock that one yet until we unlock some of the other things. What I'm looking for is the plane crew quarters. See, that was the cockpit for the plane, but where's the crew cabin for the plane? I know it should be around here somewhere. Shouldn't be this far into the research. Make sure I didn't already unlock it. Don't think I did. Ah, here it is. The crew cabin. That will allow us to start taking tourists up into space, and that will get us some money. We could get to space a lot easier with if we unlock this general rocketry. Right now we have 87 science. I thought we got a lot more science than that. Oh, but I unlocked that already. Okay. This takes 20, and then this one takes 45. So we have enough to do the 2 of these, but we wouldn't have any of our stability or plane parts yet. Which should be fine. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's research this, and then research this one. And we could get our some wings for stabilizing and cones for additional thing inside decouplers. So let's go ahead and do that because we're going to be getting some more science here soon. As soon as we get 45 more science, we'll do this, and then we'll do the trick to get a bunch of science. So let's leave this facility. Let's go here. Now we should hopefully have some tourists. We might have to wait till this refreshes to get the tourist. Test heat shield and fly. Have a little trajectory. Here's it landed at Corbin. So all we have to do is test it while we're on the ground, and this is the decoupler. So we'll take that mission. Test the flea booster in flight over Corbin. Problem is the speed here for testing it. The height isn't really an issue, it's the speed. But at least we got one mission we can do, and so this should hopefully refresh at some point. So let's go and test our mission. Our top heel probably won't change again for a while. So we need to test what? The TD12 decoupler. TD12 decoupler. So all we have to do is throw that on now and launch. This will be a super simple test. All we have to do is right click this. Let's make sure the conditions are met. Corbin landed. And sometimes you have to right click it and go test. And sometimes you just use it. Does that work? I don't think that worked. Perform this test. Activate the part through staging. Oh, we needed to activate it through staging. Revert flight to launch. Helps if you read the actual instructions of the mission, right? So now all we have to do is hit space, and this will get checked. There we go. We've completed that mission. Let's make sure there's no more science to get here, since we are here. Log pressure, nothing there. Reset. Log temperature, nothing here. Reset. Do a crew report, nothing here. Okay, so nothing really for science, but that's okay. We've already gotten to science there. We ended up getting 6 science just from that little bit of goo, which is, you know, decent, and make sure that 100% completes out that area. Goo never gets 100% the first time, so at least not in my experience. Total reputation is good. Okay, so we completed that mission and got a little bit of our money back. Any other new missions here we can do? Test the heat shield, no. No. Haul, no. Conduct, no. Hammer solid booster orbiting, no. Okay, so our next, I guess, big thing is to try and get into orbit, and I'd like to do that in this stream. So we could go from not orbiting to orbit. I haven't actually orbited Corbin in career mode in a long time, so this is going to be a little bit of experimentation. I do know how to do it. I haven't done it in a long time, so um let's do a actual fueled upper stage since we have this now. Um but we don't really have the best. Let's see. We don't have the best rockets for this, unfortunately. Can we do this in cheap enough? And let's see. Well, see, the swivel rocket is good for early stage. I don't. Hmm. My initial plan, I would love if we had the smaller rocket. I forget its name right at this moment, but that's kind of a big upper stage, and it won't burn for long because uh, in vacuum, this particular engine gives 215 newtons of thrust, but I mean, I think that's what kN means, kilonewtons, whatever. Um, which is about 50% more effective than on ground. I don't. We'll try it. The problem is it's heavy. Its mass is 1 ton. Plus, we had to have the fuel here, which is 1.125 tons. So right now, our delta V. If I look at this, will it tell me? If I click on it? No. Because maybe. Yeah, here we go. Our thrust to weight ratio is 4.24, so we'll go up with this. So I guess that's okay. Let's go ahead and build one of our main boosters here and throw on another swivel engine. And this particular engine is going to have a thrust weight of 1.7, which it will still go up. Anything above 1 will still at least go up, but it's going to go up pretty slowly, and it's going to burn through this fuel pretty slowly. So let's go ahead and get some solid boosters on here for our initial burst of speed. So our first stage is going to be solid boosters. Our second stage will be this engine, and then our hopefully get us into orbit stage, and back home again will be this last engine up here. So let's just try to decide which side I want to align this to. Probably that. And then we could do double of these. And this will give us a thrust to weight ratio of 2. And if we add, aerodynamics, these nose cones, which these can actually hold, I think that symbol means they can hold fuel. I want to make sure they are empty now. Okay, they can't hold fuel. Do we want to sort of separate the way our staging looks? That looks silly. Let's actually turn these orange. This way we know this is our burn away engine. don't think I could change the look of these boosters, so that's okay. It still looks pretty silly, but you know, whatever. We might want some stabilization fins. So here, I think we can only have a max number of 30 parts. How many parts do we have right now? 28 of 30. So we can only add 2 more fins. Um, so if we do that, this should hopefully stabilize us. I think I got this in the correct orientation we need. I think that's pretty much it. We'll name this rocket. Um, let's name it. Uh, what should we name this? SBJ 1 or I. Use Roman numerals and save here, and then check our staging. Staging is looking good. We have our heat shield still on, so let's launch. Let's see if we could get into orbit with this thing. Okay. So it's, yeah, and I put these into the right direction. Okay. So let's turn on our SAS. And 3, 2, 1, launch. We have liftoff. Then when we get to 1,000, I'll start our turn. This is supposed to be a gravity turn. I haven't mastered gravity turning yet. So we're just going to try and force it, and it's not wanting to force, it's wanting to rotate. I guess this is where we have a little bit too much thrust to control ratio. I can't actually get it to turn. But that's okay. Eject our boosters, they explode behind us. Now let's turn into the way we're supposed to be facing before we activate. Too much turning. Oh, jeez. Okay. I have no control over this. Um, let's revert flight to vehicle assembly. Have we unlocked a control module? No. Hmm. Okay, this might be too much for this. Uh, we're going to try going with plan B, which is make the rocket taller, which is actually not the best plan, but actually, this thrust to weight ratio is 1.7. If I was to remove this here and just throw on a solid booster, what is our thrust to weight ratio? 2.17. But we'd have no control over our actual ascent speed, so I don't think that will work. Go back with that. If I make this a 3-stage rocket with a solid booster as our starter, which makes us redonkulously long. What does that give us? 1.43. That would get us up a little higher, and this might be able to do the job. We might not have. No, that's silly. We're not going to do that. What about the hammer? Does that provide us still 1.47, but it'd be a little bit more controlled? Actually, what if we do this? Make sure we are lined up here. What if we add the hammer for our solid booster ascension? We don't really have that many control surfaces, so I'm going to go ahead and put these fins here, which looks weird, I know, but hopefully this will work. Let's see. That should be it. Let's go ahead and save this and launch. Our staging looks good. If you want to watch someone who truly knows what they're doing, I recommend looking up Scott Manley on YouTube. He is brilliant at this game. I don't want to say for sure, but I think he is truly a rocket scientist. I don't know. I don't want to say for sure, but I know he does. If he's not a rocket scientist, he is a rocket enthusiast. He knows a lot. So let's go ahead and launch. This will get us hopefully up to a slightly higher altitude. We won't start our turn until these burn through. And they're almost through. Eject them. Let's start our turn. And I'm having trouble controlling it again. Why? I do not know. I totally forgot how to raise the throttle. Good thing is I remember the command for max throttle. That just cost us the orbit, I'm thinking, but we'll try. We'll go and go straight for the 90. I need to figure out how to lower throttle. I thought it was mouse wheel. Let me look that up real quick because it's escaping my mind. Settings. Wow, really? Oh well, we'll just go max. We're not going to get into orbit with this. We definitely don't have enough, but we'll get as far as we can and get science from wherever we land. There's no harm in failure as long as we keep the Corbin alive, right? Let's ditch that weight. And let's see. When we get closer to our apparatus here, we'll go ahead and engage our booster and go as far as we can. We won't make it into orbit, but we should make it hopefully to over here to the dark side of the planet. In this, I can't believe I forgot how to manually raise and lower throttle. Okay, control and shift. Okay, I got it. I remembered. I know Z is not the X is to go completely off on your engines, and Z is to go completely forward on your engine. So at least I remembered that. I do know we are up on our hour for morning coffee, and my coffee is actually now cold because I've been doing more talking than drinking. Which cold coffee is okay if it's a frappuccino, cold frappuccino, you know, like those iced coffees you get in grocery stores or convenience stores. But normal coffee, not cold. We are in space! Okay, we need to point towards here and activate the booster. I almost missed our mark, actually. As you can see, our apparatus is going up. Right now, it's a matter of can we get it to go up at such a low rate where we never quite meet it, and we're out of fuel. But as I said, we'll get over here to the dark side of the planet. We'll leave our uh, engine behind and go into our... I forget what this is actually called. This is the direction we're traveling. This is not the opposite of the direction we're traveling, so... Like, I remember apoapsis, periapsis, I just wish I could remember the names of things sometimes. That would be very helpful. But we'll go ahead and land, and then we'll probably call it for morning coffee. I do want to play more of this game, a lot more of this game, hopefully on this particular career. But if people vote to do career without any resets, we'll probably be switching over to that. Like right now, if I really wanted to, I could reset and try again for orbit, but we want the science of landing in a new biome anyways, so there's no point. We got the goo that will be for here, and we can I guess we can't reset the canister. That was probably a mod. When we're this close to atmosphere, I don't like to speed up. So we've just now re-entered atmosphere. We're going to be entering at a nice angle. This would, if you were coming back from, say, like the moon and stuff, if you had an angle like this, you might actually burn up. You'd want it to be a slower gravity uh, burn to stop yourself. But you might actually survive if you came back at this particular angle here. Yeah, you might. Um, I know from going interplanetary speeds, you want to do a few rotations of dipping into the atmosphere and coming back out to slow yourself down because you're going super fast then. But the moon should be okay from here. The moon's actually not that far away. Can we see the moon from here? Oh yeah, I should show you the entire solar system actually. So here's the entire solar system. Let me hide this. We have Ilu, Joule, Dres, Duna, uh, come in here. This is Corbin here. Eve and Moho. I've been to Duna. In a race with Zaharu. And then each one has, I think some moons too. I don't know. We have the Man, which is the moon, and then we also have Minmus, which is a much smaller, uh, and more eccentric orbit moon. Well, this is a perfect, uh, equatorial plane, orbit of Corbin with this moon. This one is off, and that makes it slightly harder to get to. That and it's further out, so. And then, like, let's go and look at Duna. Not Duna. Yeah, that's Dres. What was Duna? Duna is pretty much Mars. But I don't think we could actually zoom in and look at it. Oh well. Oh, we are truly re-entering. I totally forgot we were re-entering. That's okay. We just missed the entire re-entry burn. We had a radio blackout. So we're going pretty slow here. We're still pretty high up. We're not even 10,000 meters before sea level, so. But unfortunately, we are on the dark side of the moon, the planet. So we'll be watching the sunset as we fall. Which, you know, that's a pretty sight. Get rid of the nav ball here. Makes this a little bit more cinematic. Let's go ahead and pop the chute. That sun just really dipped though. And sun is gone. You can see the line of the reflection. That if we move, it moves with us because the Earth is round. Well, Corbin is round. And soon we'll be in the ocean, nice and safe, far away from any sort of landmass that we can't even see landmass. Where are we ending up? I know our thing said over here, but as we slow down through reentry, we always have to account for that in our reentry. So, and we are going to speed this up until we hit the ground. Slow it down. It wasn't. I wasn't clicking right. I was panic clicking, trying to slow it down. And splash down. We have successfully spent more time in space than any Kerbal in the history of this playthrough. We were also the first person to be in space. God, what was his name? Glenn something. The first American to enter space. I don't know as much of my space history as I probably should. Um, what was it? The first Russian into space just passed recently. Um, I think he was also the first Russian to orbit Earth. So, I don't know. Log pressure, no data here. Buoy per. So all the ocean is one biome. Unfortunately, I was hoping we'd land on some landmass, but we didn't. So let's just recover. We'll get a little bit of science from the goo, not too much. Probably like 2 or 4. Oh, 11. That's better. We did waste some money in fuel and parts, but that's okay. We we were making money apparently because we did a suborbital thing. But I think with that we'll call it for today's morning coffee. We're just about 10 minutes over, so until next time, have fun, enjoy, be safe, and I'll see you later when I do some experimentations because I'm going to be switching over to OBS. So we can actually have chat on screen for you guys in the VODs of these streams. So I gotta do a lot of testing. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.